When someone goes missing, everything changes. For families, time seems to freeze. For investigators, the clock begins ticking immediately. Every minute matters, every detail matters, and every decision could determine whether the person is found. Missing person investigations are not just about searching. They are about understanding human behavior, deciphering patterns, and navigating emotional chaos. Today, we are going inside that world to understand what happens behind the scenes when a person disappears. This is the psychology, the strategy, and the mindset of investigators who work these cases. This is what it means to enter the mind of a missing person investigation. It all begins with a call. Sometimes it is a terrified parent. Sometimes it is a roommate who is not sure whether they are overreacting. Sometimes it is a stranger who saw something that simply did not feel right. No matter who makes the call, investigators immediately shift into assessment mode. Not panic, not fear, assessment. Their first question is always the same. Is this a true missing person, or is there another explanation? Could it be a runaway, a voluntary disappearance, a misunderstanding or miscommunication, an accident, or is it something more concerning, like a crime? Investigators mentally sort through these possibilities within seconds. They look for the moment where a person's life suddenly broke away from what is normal. That moment often becomes the key to the entire case. Investigators understand something most people do not. The first 24 hours are critical. These are often called the golden hours of a missing person investigation. The reason is simple. The longer someone remains unaccounted for, the higher the risk of harm. Clues vanish. People forget what they saw. Surveillance footage gets overwritten. Tracks fade. Every passing hour reduces the chances of finding new, clear evidence. So investigators focus intensely on rebuilding the timeline. They need to understand what happened before the disappearance, not just after. Where was the person last seen? What were they doing? Who were they communicating with? Were there emotional stresses, financial stresses, or personal struggles? Investigators know that the answer to why someone disappeared is often hidden in how they were living in the hours or days before they vanished. Once the timeline begins to form, investigators turn to something equally important: the profile of the missing person. Television shows often make it look like detectives immediately start searching for suspects. But in real life, investigators start by understanding the missing person's habits, routines, relationships, and emotional state. Their personality matters. Their daily behavior matters. Even their fears and comfort zones matter. Investigators ask, what was this person like? What routines did they never break? Who were the last people they communicated with? Did they have secrets or struggles that others might not have known about? Were they someone who planned everything? Or were they spontaneous? Were they cautious, or did they take risks? Each answer helps create a behavioral picture. If you can understand what the person would normally do, you can begin predicting where they might be. After building the profile, investigators turn to the inner circle. This includes family, friends, coworkers, and anyone close to the missing person. This part of the investigation is extremely delicate. Emotions run high. People are scared, confused, or grieving. But investigators need clear answers. Research shows that the people closest to a missing person usually know the most, even if they do not realize it. So investigators ask difficult questions. They look for inconsistencies, vague statements, rehearsed answers, or emotional reactions that do not match the circumstances. They are not trying to accuse anyone. They are trying to understand the truth. Even in cases with no foul play, the inner circle almost always holds a clue, a forgotten detail, a misunderstood message, or a behavior that suddenly makes sense in hindsight. Next, investigators examine the digital footprint. In today's world, disappearing completely is extremely difficult. Phones, apps, vehicles, bank transactions, doorbell cameras, smartwatches, and even fitness trackers create a constant stream of information. This digital trail can reveal a person's movements, conversations, searches, or emotional state. A strange search history, a deleted message, a late-night text that does not match their normal behavior, a sudden withdrawal of cash. a location ping in an unfamiliar area. All of these can point investigators toward intent, and intent can point toward danger. Investigators also consider whether someone might have manipulated the digital footprint. Staged messages, wiped phones, or spoof locations can be warning signs. In modern cases, the absence of digital activity can be just as suspicious as the presence of it. Eventually, investigators must expand the search into the physical world. This is when strategy becomes critical. Searching is not just about covering ground. It is about covering the right ground. Investigators think in terms of probability zones, meaning the most likely places the person could be. They consider behavioral pathways, how far the person could walk or drive, where they might stop, or what areas might draw them based on personality or emotional state. Search teams use grids, aerial scans, scent dogs, and specialized units. But every decision is guided by a psychological question. If I were this person, where would I go? Someone anxious might hide. Someone injured might seek shelter. Someone confused or disoriented might move in straight lines without realizing it. Someone intentionally leaving might head toward meaningful places. The search is not random. It is a behavioral map made real. During the search, investigators must sift through an overwhelming number of theories. People speculate constantly. Family members have their own ideas. The public creates countless possibilities. Investigators must sort through these using a process called theory triage. They evaluate each theory for probability, consistency with evidence, behavioral alignment, and opportunity. Many theories fall apart quickly. A few remain. Sometimes the truth is simple. A miscommunication, a medical episode, a vehicle breakdown in a remote area. Sometimes the truth is far more complicated. If days turn into weeks and no answers are found, the case starts to go cold. This is one of the most difficult experiences for investigators. Cold cases are not just unsolved files. They are emotional weights. Investigators replay decisions over and over. They recheck evidence. They re-interview people. They look with fresh eyes for missed or overlooked clues. Many describe it as a constant whisper in the back of the mind, a reminder that someone is still missing and deserves answers. Cold case detectives often possess a specific personality trait. They refuse to let unanswered questions rest. They revisit old evidence with new technology or new psychological insight. Sometimes, years later, one small detail breaks everything open. A forgotten witness, a new DNA method, a re-examined timeline. One piece is all it takes. The truth is that missing person cases linger with everyone involved. Unlike other crimes that end with a clear outcome, missing person cases remain open stories. They live in a space between hope and fear. For families, hope is necessary. It keeps them searching, asking questions, and refusing to give up. For investigators, hope is what keeps a case alive even when leads go quiet. A missing person is never just gone. Someone knows something. Somewhere a clue exists. And the story is never over until the truth is found. Thank you for listening to this deep dive into the mind of a missing person investigation. If you want more true crime or mystery content like this, be sure to subscribe and share which investigation or topic you want to explore next.